Welcome to the BEAD application intake form walkthrough. This video is current as of July 3rd, 2025. In this video, we will guide you through the specific inputs required from all applicants as part of submitting this form accurately and completely. This form is designed to be an interactive questionnaire to help applicants fill in responses that adhere to the requirements from the revised BEAD NOFA. OBC will refer to applicants' responses in this form as part of the evaluation process. Please make sure to fill this form entirely and submit it via the BPU e-filing portal, along with all other application materials. Please see the BEAD website for additional guidance, including a walkthrough of how to submit files to the BPU e-filing portal. Now let's go tab by tab. The first sheet, Instructions, provides general guidelines on different cells, columns, and sheets. As you can see here, this form contains 5 blue sheets as questionnaires. There are 5 different colored cells you will encounter throughout the document, with yellow cells indicating areas to fill in, blue cells indicating areas that have already been filled in, gray cells indicating areas that are not for editing, green cells indicating areas that have valid responses, and red cells indicating areas with missing or invalid responses. This form is protected, which means that applicants should only make edits to the cells that require their input and not delete or change the order and names of sheets. The second sheet, Application Information, is for applicants to provide required information regarding the applicant profile, project information, official contact information, and project contact information. Column C, here, details the questions applicants are required to answer, and column D, here, is the dedicated area to fill in responses. Some questions have dedicated answer formats or word limits, so please refer to column C for formatting instructions. For example, questions 9, 11, and 12 need to be selected from a drop-down menu, as seen here. The responses for questions 8 and 10 are a character limit, in 20 characters or less, or 1,000 characters or less. Now let's move to the third tab, Project Area. This sheet is for applicants to provide information on the proposed project area, number of BSLs, and CAIs the applicant proposes to exclude, and the BEAD funding request. Table 3.1, which counties are in the proposed project area, contains 3 sections. The OBC dataset on the left-hand side does not require any inputs. That's this column here. Column B for PABs, and column C for number of eligible BSLs and CAIs in each PAB. Applicants should fill out columns E through J of this table, seen here. In column E, applicants should indicate which PAB to be included in the proposed project area. To include a PAB in the proposed project area, select Yes for the corresponding PAB, which will be through a drop-down menu. Select No or leave empty for PABs which are not included in the project area. For example, here this would say No. In column F, for each PAB which is included in the project area, enter the amount of BEAD funding that will be required to provide service to the locations within the PAB that the project will serve. For example, if we put in $1 million here, and here. And here we would change this to yes, if there is a BEAD funding request. column G, for each PAB included in the proposed project area, enter the number of BSLs that the applicant proposes to exclude from the PAB as excessively high-cost locations or would otherwise make the project economically unviable for the technology being used. Enter 0 if the applicant proposes to serve all BSLs in the PAB. If the answer is larger than 0, you will fill in column I, which is the rationale for excluding any PABs. So here, for example, if we said 1 and 0, you will see that the columns pre-populate to indicate yellow cells which need to be filled out when BSLs are being proposed for exclusion. Similarly, in column G, for each PAB included in the proposed project area, please enter the number of CAIs that the applicants would propose to exclude as excessively high-cost locations or would otherwise make the project economically unviable for the technologies being used. Again, if we said 1 and 0, you will see that the corresponding cells update accordingly. Notice that in the BSL shapefiles and CAI shapefiles, which are separately required documents outside of this application intake form, applicants should list all BSLs and CAIs within the PAB selected and provide details for which BSLs or CAIs they are proposing for exclusion. The shapefiles template on OBC's website contains additional details. Also note the right-hand side of this column does not require any input. Column K, the number of BSLs included in the proposed project area. Column L, the number of CAIs included in the proposed project area. In column N, the NJ BEAD funding request per location are formula-based and will populate automatically from the applicant's response in columns F through H. At the bottom, Table 3.2 provides a summary of the proposed project area and subsidy request. Values are formula-based and will populate automatically from the applicant's response in Table 3.1, columns F through H. Now, if we look at Sheet 4, this is the subsidy request summary for applicants to provide information about the proposed project match. Applicants should fill out Table 4.1. Table 4.2 on the right-hand side will be auto-populated and does not require an applicant's input. If cell G9 here is red, please turn back to Table 4.1 and modify the relevant responses. Now, going back to Table 4.1. Column C details the questions applicants are required to answer, and column D is the dedicated area to fill in the response. Column D will be formatted in yellow or gray, as seen here. Yellow cells indicate that the applicants need to add information. If a cell is gray, the applicants do not need to add any information. Note that the cells are conditionally formatted, so your response to the previous questions may change the answer of some cells. If you notice any cells turning yellow after you've entered a response, please make sure to complete those yellow cells. Yellow cells will turn blue once completed. For example, if an applicant selects yes for question 2 from the drop-down menu, you will see that the responses for questions 3 through 5 turn yellow. Here we can fill in a sample number here. And similarly, this makes D11 turn yellow. Now, let's go to Table 5, offering details. This sheet is for applicants to fill in details for the proposed offering in the respective project area. Each unique offering should have one row filled in. Applicants do not need to fill in all rows. For example, if an applicant is only proposing one type of technology such as fiber, they only need to fill in one row. For column C, applicants must pick an option from the drop-down menu, shown here, to indicate their project technology of choice. Refer to the FCC technology codes, which are also in the drop-down menu for detailed descriptions. In column D, for each tier of service being offered, applicants must provide details on where each tier is being offered within their project area. In column E, indicate whether the offering is a low-cost service option by selecting yes or no from the drop-down menu. The low-cost service option should have an upload speed of not less than 100 Mbps, a download of not less than 20 Mbps, and latency less than or equal to 100 milliseconds. Note that each applicant must offer at least one low-cost broadband service option for all eligible subscribers within the proposed project area, pursuant to the NTIA policy notice. From columns F through 1 through I, here, please fill in the corresponding details. Please note certain cells must be in number format, such as those in column F. If we were to enter letters here, you will see it returns an error value. Now, the last sheet, deployment, is for applicants to provide information about the deployment plans for the proposed broadband project. Column C details the questions applicants are required to answer, and column D is the dedicated area to fill in the responses. Applicants should follow the format prompt in the bracket when filling in their responses. So similar to before, some of these will be numeric values only, while others must be anticipated dates. After filling out all of the questionnaire sheets, applicants should save this form, rename it to the applicant name _NJBEAD _application, and submit via the BPU e-filing portal. Keep in mind that this form is one of the required application materials, and other materials are also needed to submit a complete application. For a complete list of required materials and templates, please see the NJBEAD website. If you have further questions, email us at broadband@bpu.nj.gov and include BEAD in the subject line of your email. Thank you very much.